Wow, just cut out. Cool. What's up, people? Another episode.
Hola.
Konnichiwa, motherfuckers. I'm Ray Taylor.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
This is another episode of the Inspired Disorder Podcast. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Okay, let's get to business. What's Keith drinking tonight? All right, looks like a tall boy. We know he likes the tall boys, not short ones.
That looks like a tall boy.
No. Coors Light.
Yeah.
Paps. I actually had that last week, and we didn't record. So
yep.
Didn't
it was
prove
shittier than it is right now out. But it's not that great.
Yeah. Shitty weather. I have the opposite. Whatever.
Poor fella.
Yeah. I get to be inside painting and packing and recording with you, Keith. Yay. I get to be
so for any of the people actually watching this, Ray's face, if it offends you, it's all right. It's all right to be offended by it.
It was designed specifically to be offensive.
It's working.
Just like that one episode, the bro stash, Jesus with the bro stash episode, was specifically designed to offend certain people.
That's why I grew my hair the way I did. I just did it the whole time to offend.
Everything from head to toe, we bleed to troll everybody that is acquainted with us and follows us and watches us. We troll.
I really don't get the trolling thing. Do you ever troll someone?
I mean, not like I will troll people that I know for fun, you know?
Yeah, but that's just joking around with a friend. I consider trolling doing that shit to someone you don't.
When you do it to a stranger, you're just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd never done. Well, let's see. I may have early.
I can't say I've never done it, but
yeah.
I actively try to put myself in check. Going, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing? Are you? You know how many times I've typed out now? I've typed out a million trolling comments and then deleted them after rereading them at least 10 times in my head and going, nah, that's... I feel like I got it out, too, by typing it.
Yeah, sometimes that's all you need to do. Just to, see it on your thing and you're like, I'll save drafts. I used to do that all the time where I just save drafts on Twitter. And then I'd go back through every once in a while and be like, oh, thank you for not posting those. I don't know why. Save them. I don't want to get rid of them completely sometimes. I have to, maybe if this is a real feeling, this is a real feeling of hate, maybe I'll come back to it in a month. And if I still feel this passionate about it, I'll hit send.
Like today, I just posted something. It was an obligatory joke about Fox News. I just put Fox News causes autism.
See, that's technically, I guess it's trolling, but to really stupid people though.
Oh man, and then this girl that from my hometown, she jumps in. I believe she has an autistic kid. I wasn't making fun of autism. I was making fun of Fox News. My very next comment was, it also causes Ebola, SARS, something else, and cancer, heart disease, and gingivitis.
Yeah. But that last one is true. The gingivitis one?
Gingivitis. Seriously.
I mean, what the fuck is gingivitis? I've never had to deal with it because I don't watch Fox News, so it must be
when your
true.
gums get all red and bleedy. Mine don't do that.
Oh,
so.
yeah. Okay. I thought it was just too much Mexican candy.
And then this girl just goes full in on, one of those comments that's fucking a foot long.
Yeah.
And it was about the factors of vaccinations causing autism and chemtrails. which I hadn't heard that chemtrails cause autism.
Whoa. So she has an autistic kid, and she thinks she wasn't buying your bullshit on why her kid's autistic. She has like
obviously
chemtrails.
It wasn't the Fox News that did it.
Yeah, she's
so
like,
she was
no,
trying to fill me in.
They told me about what it really was. Okay, it's the clouds.
And it just hurt. Like it hurt. Like I was still like joking, but like then everyone got super serious.
Yeah.
Like I just like stood back, and then it was just like back and forth, pretty much like fuck you and fuck you and I'm like, and I wanted to get into it, but it was one of those like, no, I'm just gonna not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna, because like when she said chemtrails, I so much wanted to be like, shut up.
Yeah. It's like
just shut up. You mean contrails, condensation trailing, like. That's the funniest one to me because my grandfather used to be a president of a turbine repair and a turbine making company, and they also repaired like faulty ones over in Singapore. And I remember as a kid, asking him what he did and him describing it, and then I was like, "What is it when?" And this is before chemtrails was a thing. I just wanted to know why there was always a super long string.
Yeah. Why
of what looked like a cloud.
Why were clouds coming out from behind?
He simply explained what contrails were to me at 9 years old, and I was like, "Oh, that makes perfect sense."
Yeah.
And then, like, he also worked for a company that, like, so if they were doing this, he would be like, "Yeah, we put in a secret valve."
Yeah.
Just in case they want to start spraying shit out of the turbine.
It's I don't know, man.
My other favorite part about the chemtrails though is okay, let's say they are spraying indiscriminately all over.
Yeah, everybody.
So the people that are in the know about it, don't you think we would see like certain higher ranking officials just always walking around with a respirator or a gas mask on?
Why would Hollywood stand for that? Hollywood would have like all kinds of movies.
Their kids go to the same schools and everything. It's like, we're just cool with whatever we're spraying all over everyone, and we're just gonna breathe it in too. Like, that's cool, right?
And if they are, like, okay, like, I don't know. First, you have to prove it,
But it's just like, one of those. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's just it's annoying when people get so passionate about something they have done no like actual research on. They'll find the blogs that tell them the answers that they want to hear, or that'll feed their whole thing. I mean, if you want to go down a rabbit hole, you can create whatever rabbit hole you want.
Type in chemtrails and sit there for a week and watch every video with some pseudoscientist Google master that's like, I've proven chemtrails are real and this and that, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not saying that. Listen, it's proven the government was spraying shit on people in St. Louis back in the day from the top of like high-rise buildings, just to see like what would be they thought they were spraying an innocuous chemical, like something that wasn't going to be bad for people.
Yeah.
But to see how they could trace it flowing through the city, like if someone really did that. And it turns out it actually was kind of like shitty, and some people got sick from it.
Yeah.
So that's why people think it could be real. But if you're spraying 7 miles up in the air, where's that going? It'll hit a jet stream and hit 5 states away.
Well, and if you're so fucking passionate about it, like, do something that's gonna stop it. Like,
go punch a chemtrail in the face.
Do some more research and find out, the company making it. Like, find make a documentary about it. Get in touch with Adam Scorgi. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you. He's got
I'm sure
a lot of free time.
Don't even.
He needs ideas.
Please don't do that. People.
I don't know what he's working on nowadays. I know he's doing a lot of things with the Culture High and all that.
He's working on Ice Guardians right now, so he's pretty busy on doing important shit.
Like I was saying, I'm sure he would love to hear from you and love to hear your pitch on the research you've done. But you got to do your research. You got to have not like I heard from this blog. Like
I saw on YouTube this video.
Yeah.
And they plainly stated the one guy said he used to work for a secret government facility, and that he knew that the planes were all loaded up with chemicals, and
Yeah.
like that's I don't get it.
Like that's a lot of energy to put into something that's it's pretty much worthless. They're not doing anything to fix it. They're just it's like it takes up their energy of hate and like brain power to like come up with these creative like conspiracy theories and go down these rabbit holes, but it's like you could apply that same sort of like mental, they could just write scripts. You have that kind of imagination where you can just go down and believe shit. Fucking flesh that shit out on a script and sell that to Hollywood. And then with the money, get the fuck out of LA if you're so scared of the fucking chemtrails. You know?
I don't know, man. Today I kind of fell down a weird rabbit hole.
Oh, shit.
I was just bored on Facebook.
Yeah.
And there's a few weird conservatives that are friends of mine that, you know, how like you'll see whatever they liked or whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I'll just click on the comments. It's like
the same reason you look at World Star hip hop comments. It's
I want to see.
There's going to be drama
the
there.
carnage, and it's always the worst fucking. These people are the dumbest fucking people, and they're all over. Like that's terrifying to me. That I'm stupid, and 90% of the people that I meet, I'm smarter than.
Yeah. It's
what
scary.
The fuck?
It's a scary thing to fucking be in a society where that is an emotion you're going through. I know
again,
that.
I state that I'm dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
I didn't go to college. Not that that makes you smart.
Yeah, listeners.
I know a little bit about a lot of shit.
I agree 100% with what Keith is saying at this moment. Like, I've never agreed more with what Keith is saying. You know? But I have the same feeling, man. It's like, it's just... The most annoying part is the people that just, you know, you try to explain. Like, you just, if you were to get into a conversation with somebody about chemtrails and you just try to explain how the contrail works, like the science behind it, and they're like shutting you, they're like, no. I don't know what you're talking about. Don't just start saying stuff. Like, I don't know what you're saying. Don't even like, they shut you down before you even try. They're like, I know what I know. It's like you don't even need to speak. Like I don't even want to entertain the idea of potentially learning something new to change my opinion. Like the things
it's a religion. It's a religion to some people.
It's just like laziness. It's like lazy thinking.
Their idea, and there's no amount of facts. It's I call it the Fox News syndrome, where you just get enthralled by whatever they're saying and agree with it so much that it doesn't matter. Like even if you find out later that everything they said was complete bullshit, you still believe it. Like, I got in an argument with my stepdad about the Iraq War a while back, and I said, well, why? We went in for weapons of mass destruction, and they didn't find any. And he scoffed at me immediately. Like,
oh, little Keith Pennock.
Yeah, and it's like, you don't think that they didn't just hide him? And I go, you don't think that since that was the only reason that they goaded us into this war, that if they would have fucking found even a trace of them moving it, they would have it would have been plastered all over. You didn't see any of that shit, so they didn't find anything. And he was like, well, and then he told me what sums up all of Fox News listeners. He goes, well, man, I choose to believe what I want to believe. Yeah. And I looked at him like super wide-eyed, and I go, but what about facts? He goes, facts are just people's opinions. And I was like, no, they're not. They're fucking facts.
Yeah. It's like, what do you think scientists do?
Oh
like, what do you do? Do
no,
they
it's just some guy's opinion that the Earth's round and the fucking the distance from the Earth to the moon is this many miles. Oh, Jesus.
It's not like science is like a creative, and you don't look like at a scientific paper and go, oh, what a masterpiece of literature.
This is the only fucking country on Earth where you're looked down upon for being smart or wanting to learn shit.
Yeah. Well, it's because most
people scoff at scientists. They're like, gee, well, fucking scientists. It's like, what is this, like nerd bashing all over again? Is this high school continued where it was just like, oh, the fucking nerdy kid, he's just fucking lying because he doesn't believe in God, and fucking God's doing all this shit.
Yeah, the worst thing, like I've been selling electronics for a fucking decade, okay, and the worst thing that always, like, whenever somebody comes in and they like call me. They all have like their own little name for what I do, and when they call me like a geek or a nerd or like one of those like as like that's not like just because I know about technology and you're a fucking idiot doesn't mean I'm like a nerd. Like that's it's like it feels like an insult, you know?
Dude, even my best friend here, one time, this was when I first started doing the podcast. When I actually used to rewatch.
This one you used to rewatch this one?
And I was rewatching our podcast.
Well, at least you were watching. You were getting some numbers on our video.
And he looks at it. He just walked in. And I was already watching. He was like, what are you? I was like, oh, it's my podcast. And he's like, is that nerd? And I was like, and I got offended for you. I was like, dude, what are you fucking talking about? Nerd. Like, what? Like, are you Ogre from the Revenge of the Nerds? Yeah. Like, what are we? Fucking nerd. I'm like, what?
Well, but it's like
you're a nerd.
The nerds, like nerds is basically what you would call somebody who's autistic, who's like just obsessed. I
call myself a nerd.
Yeah,
though.
I mean, I'll do it.
When people use it derogatory, I'm like, whoa.
This is the closest thing.
It's my word.
Yeah, this is the closest thing white people have to like. This is our N-word, bro. Yeah, it's like, we got nothing.
I call myself a nerd, but you can't call me a nerd.
Yeah, I don't care when black people call me nerd. It's all the old white people calling me nerd. Black people get a nerd pass, okay? You guys can call me whatever the fuck you want. Because usually it's not, like when an old person calls you a nerd, like they have a very, like it's a strong enunciation to it. It's like it's like a very like talk downy kind of like thank you servant for hey nerd, why don't you show me what computer I need to buy so I can go fuck my 20-year-old.
Someone boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, find me this nerd boy. You're like, whoa.
But the worst, by far the worst, like the most insulting thing that I've like experienced is like when somebody's trying to get my attention. And they do things that you would use, like tactics you would use if you saw like a dog running down the street and you're like, oh shit,
snapping and pointing.
Be like, yeah, no, they'd be like, hey, like this. That's the most fucking. It's like it makes me want to like just go fucking break my hands on their face.
I had a bartender when I was when I still worked at a bar before I even turned 21.
Mm-hmm. Great time to work at a bar.
And yeah, because I didn't drink for a long time after that.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Because I was just more into smoking weed, and I just saw how alcohol crushed people's souls, and I was like, nah, I'm good.
Then that's actually definitely a good job to have.
But she let me know. She's like, hey, because I think I did it one day, and she was like, yo, and I've been mindful of it ever since. Like, don't beckon a bartender like that. Once they get to you. Just tip them a little bit. Be super nice.
Yeah.
Or tip them a little bit more. Your very first beer. Be super nice. You'll get great service.
All you have to do is look at them. Look at their eyes. When eventually, if you meet eyes, like throw up a thing like, "Yo, I'm here." That's it. You're done. They know you're there, and they will be there.
Even if you're involved in something, you're like, you can give them a nod, like, "I'll be right to you."
Because people do that too. I'll be helping somebody. And sometimes, it's a fast thing. Sometimes it takes a while because people just, people are scared of technology. So it's like sometimes it takes a while and people will come up and I'm block them out. They don't exist. They'll just stand like just staring at me like while I'm doing this. And they do not exist to me because like I know what they're trying to do. I understand their presence. I don't need to acknowledge them until I'm done. They're interrupting me. And a lot of them
out like a parent does a small 100%, toddler or something.
Yeah, 100%. But like,
mom,
there's still assholes that'll bust, interrupt. I mean, they'll be polite about it. Some people just like I'll see them walk up and they'll just like, where's the fucking this thing? And I'm like, I'm in the middle of some shit, or they'll, whatever. It's just people, I don't
get it.
I've lost a lot of respect for humanity working where I've worked from both sides, like from the management side to the customer side, just like seeing how the majority of people are and how they treat, other people.
And I'm going to be flat honest on this. Old people are the worst fucking people. I mean,
They're
don't get me
one of
wrong.
the
There's a lot
worst.
of people our age that
They're
are
a
just fucking
category.
insufferable. But
You know
old
what?
people in general,
Our age
I
isn't
see
bad.
85% of old
Yeah.
people and I'm talking like 65 and above.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The way
Old.
they were
Old.
brought up was so much different, and they like treat you like fucking help,
Yeah.
like we were talking like help, but like shitty help.
Yeah. 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 Oh, for sure. Yeah. And they're angry and just bitter at life. And they're in there. They can't move good and they hurt and their fucking brains don't work good anymore and they don't fucking understand anything. But yeah, they are definitely a big category. If you were to split up the worst, old people have a chunk of that. But there's a lot of kinds of worst. Lots of kinds of worst.
Lots of kinds of worst.
But people our age aren't that bad. Generally, people our age, like teenager, like early 20s, going to college. Actually, they're not too bad either.
I don't know, man.
It's old. It's like even like, it's a lot of it's money. People with money.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but there's people that don't have money that treat people like it's just people treating, like you go into a place, right? And you're going to buy something and you don't know, you need help. You don't know, you don't have all the information. You ask for help and then you treat that person like they're fucking piece of shit. Like they're getting some big bonus if they can sell you on some shit. It's like, I don't give a fuck what you buy. You can buy out this whole store, or you can buy nothing. I get paid the exact same. Why are you treating me like shit?
Their attitude is you're getting paid to be my servant.
Yeah. Those are the people that are the snap and whistle fuckheads.
And that's so fucking...
I just walk away from them. Right when I hear, like, if anybody whistles, it's like, it's instant, like, freeze, block it out, and then just wait. Let them warm it up a little bit, and then just fucking walk away. It's like, okay, like you tried your attempt, it didn't work. Go fuck yourself. Go not buy. And usually they're not even buying anything. They want to ask some stupid fucking question, some retarded question that they think is so amazing. You know, it's like a heckler at a fucking comedy club. Like they think they're gonna out comedian the comic. They're gonna be like, "Oh, look at this thing I just noticed. Don't you feel stupid right now?" It's like, no, you're an idiot because you don't understand anything. Just go.
You know what I'm getting real scared about lately, though?
Herpes?
I'm almost positive, and everyone's been saying this for years, but the movie Idiocracy is fucking coming true, dude.
Yeah, there's a lot of smart people though. Like I'm sure most of the smart people don't need my help. You know.
Here's how I'll put it to you. Like these young kids now, and I see it a lot from kids I work with to my younger sisters. They grew up with the internet.
Yeah.
The magic answer box that if you look hard enough, it's better than any library ever invented.
Yeah.
And they don't know anything about...
Yeah. People are scared to learn shit, bro. People in general.
They couldn't even, like, if you held up a picture of the vice president, they'd be like, I have no fucking idea who that is.
Yeah, I don't know if I did, although I didn't have. But I'm not looking that shit up on the internet anyway. Like, I only know
how do you not see it? How does it not seep into you from headlines, from different news?
I'm interested in different shit now than I was. Like, when I was, like, a teenager, I don't know what age range you're talking about right now, but when I was a teenager, I could care less. I mean, O.J. Simpson thing happened, but that's because that was the only thing on TV, you know? So that was, like, the first where you're forced to kind of know what's going on, but... I don't know, man. Like, I get it. They're just into different shit. They could give a fuck. Like, I could give a fuck now. They're ahead of the curve.
Every fucking Kardashian kid.
Yeah, well, that's a disappointing part of our fucking society.
That's what bothers me is these people. And
but there's fucking adults that like that shit too. Like, that's not just a kids thing. I mean, I don't want to like generalize, but I'm sure the majority of viewers, the demographic is a primarily female audience for the Kardashians, I would assume. I'm sure there's a hefty amount of stupid dudes that watch it, but I would imagine that their fucking whatever that's called demographic
I don't know, man.
more women.
It's just terrifying. And then
Yeah.
people I know, it's like all the dumbest people I know literally do have the most children.
Yeah. I know, man. Because listen, that is very true about the movie. That like the smart people have other things going on, and they don't want children. They know they can't. Like they understand the focus that they're gonna lose raising children. But fucking smart people come from stupid parents all the time.
Yeah, my parents aren't really the smartest people.
You know, that doesn't, just because they popped out of a stupid idiot doesn't mean that we need to fix education. And like the education system, people are scared to fucking learn. It's a huge thing. You know, people are like, first off, they only think they can learn in school. Like they don't, like, if you were to go up to most people, I would imagine you ask them, like, if you wanted to learn something, what would be the first thing you do? They'd probably say, go to school. Like, you know, that is not the answer all the time. You can do shit. You can do anything without having to go to school, you know? It's a tool. But it's like people are scared to learn. No matter what, if it's about school or just anything. Anything new, they're like, I can't learn something new. It's like, it's a laziness, you know? It's annoying.
Fear of change, too. They're like, I don't know how to work that computer thing. Yeah. You're like, what? It's fucking, you just type it in. Like, what? I don't understand. This is easier than any library you ever went to.
I had a dude angry. He had questions about a hard drive, and the way they're sold, they're like little clamshell things with cardboard on it. Like, and then, you know, you can see the product, and it's like in this, you know, framed cardboard package. And he was pissed off because he wanted instructions on how to open it. I was like, when he first asked for instructions, I was like, it took me a while to understand what he was talking about. You know, because it's the first time I've ever been asked, I need instructions to open this. And he's not like mentally challenged. He's just an old, angry dude. Not even that old. Probably like 50s, 60s. Not like old. Where he's like mentally gone, you know? And it's like, it took me a while to just bring my brain down to where, like, what the fuck does he mean he needs instructions? He's like, I need instructions to open this. I'm like, just like a knife or something. He's like, it's really tough. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It's like, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's like, if you can't figure out how to open it, don't fucking buy it, man. Like, if it's that difficult for you to just get through that barrier to fucking use the product, then you should not be driving, sir.
Here's the thing. There's probably a YouTube video for exactly how to open.
And he had just talked to, he wanted to know how to use the hard drive first, and he had just talked to a buddy of mine who's another sales dude, asked him the exact same questions, all pissed off. He came to me. I basically said the same thing, and he was just so fucking angry. It's like, what are you doing buying hard drives, man? Like, go fix your life. You can't figure out how to open it.
Life.
Like, you're like, if you're confused on how to open the packaging, everything else past that, after you get that shit open, you're gonna be completely fucking lost, man. Like, it's ridiculous. It's annoying, and it's just people that just are unwilling to, like, listen. Like, they don't even think they have the capacity. They're talking shit about their own ability to understand what the fuck's going on. It's like, I've done this a long time. I know how to break shit down so you can understand it. I've spoken to tons of idiots. I know how to break this shit down super fucking easy, but they don't even want to hear it. So, whatever. I'm very happy that I won't be doing that job anymore. You know?
And vaccinate your fucking kids, people. It doesn't cause autism. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Stop listening to actresses, unemployed actresses. Wasn't that Jenny McCarthy?
Is she even an actress? She was a fucking Playboy model when she was on Singled Out.
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought she was an actor.
She's like a talk show host now on The View or something.
Well, at least, you know.
And her fucking kid doesn't even have autism.
Yeah. Just, you know, she probably read a fucking article. Like,
she did. And that's what it all came.
It's like a BuzzFeed 10 signs your kid's autistic. And she's like, holy shit, he's got 4 of them. Fuck. I think it was from the vaccines because that needle. He really cried after the needle. I think he knows. I think he knew at that moment. He knew.
There were people that said vaccines made their kids mentally retarded, and that's not something you develop. Pretty sure if you're retarded, you're born retarded.
I mean, I'm sure if you got like brain trauma as a kid,
Maybe.
like if you were like actually dropped on your head and like it caused some fucking damage.
Sloth from the Goonies, he got dropped on his head.
Totally, you know. And he was in a movie, people.
You
can aspire to anything. Yeah, it's I don't know, like maybe a small population of the people is affected by it in a certain way because they do pay out. There are people that win lawsuits.
All right.
So
let's say this. Let's say vaccines do cause autism. Mm-hmm. Let's take their side, but it causes autism in 1 in 100,000 children.
Yeah.
But these vaccines will still obliterate polio and all these other goofy fucking things that we're vaccinated for. Do you still make everyone take it? I do.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a fucking formula that's horrible. Like, as far as we should save every human. But out of the things that are bad for us, like, if that's the argument, let's, like, focus on something that's like cigarettes or all the things that Keith loves. Let's focus on alcohol and cigarettes. Like, things that, you know, are known things that kill people on a regular basis.
Slow your roll.
That's like the percentage of deaths and things caused by bad things. Listen, I'm not going to win against alcohol and tobacco, all right? I'm just a little podcaster in San Diego striving.
With goofy facial hair.
With goofy facial hair. And not the cartoon character Goofy. That would be...
Because he didn't have facial hair.
I mean, he had hair all over his face.
Not really.
Wasn't he a dog?
Yeah, but it was such a bald face.
That's interesting. How do you know it was a bald face, though?
Because I saw it.
In person?
Yeah.
In a dream?
Yeah.
In person in a dream?
Yeah.
At Disneyland? I was going to say McDonald's.
Never been to Disneyland or World.
Oh, wow. I mean, I don't understand. There's a lot of
people... Did
people...
you just wow me on I've never been to Disneyland or World? Like, is that something everyone else has done?
I'm from California, so it's an oh wow for somebody that lives really close to it. But it's not like I haven't been there. The last time I was there was graduation. It was my grad night was at Disneyland, so they bust us all there. It was like after hours. They had like the Aquabats playing and all that kind of shit. So that was the last time I was there. I haven't been there as an adult. But there's a lot of people our age, legit our age, that love to go to Disneyland. They go up there they have year passes. They go up there, you know, it's 2 hours away. But I know people that travel from all over to go to Disneyland. So not as much of an oh wow as it should have gotten, but still like, oh.
People from here go to Disney World a lot.
Yeah, it's closer, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they come back with meth. Some bad habits.
Well, I would say that their Disney park probably not as good as the other one, even though I've never been to them. I'm just assuming. But they still have Universal Studios.
That's not a very good one. Have you been to Universal? What theme parks have you been to?
None like that.
Okay.
I've been to the one that counts. It's called Cedar Point. It's the best goddamn
roller coasters. Yeah. I get it.
The best amusement park in the world.
Yeah, the Six Flags out in Southern California is dog shit. Everything's closed. Last time I was there, anyway. It's hot as fuck, and everything closes down all the time, and it's a dirty fucking park too, man. Just trash
Cedar
everywhere.
Point fucking rocks that shit.
Yeah, it's just it's a shitty. I think it's like a shitty area in L.A. But yeah,
now I've there's a difference between a theme park and an amusement park.
Yeah, though. I've been to Disneyland, been to Knott's Berry Farm, been to fucking the Universal Studios. Have not been to Legoland. That is also close by. Been to SeaWorld. Been to the zoo.
I've been to SeaWorld and I've been to Kings Island. In Cincinnati. It's Paramount.
Okay.
Paramount's Kings Island.
That's cool.
And I remember as a kid, like they'd have like the Jetsons and Yogi Bear and all like the Hanna-Barbera characters and shit running around, and they had some decent roller coasters, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, most of them
And
don't,
then
man.
like some water parks around here.
Yeah,
That's about it.
yeah. I've been to a few. I was at the fuck. I think it was Raging Waters in Encinitas. They were filming an episode of Double Dare when I was there. Remember Double Dare?
I
Yeah.
Who doesn't remember Double Dare that's our age?
Yeah, that's a caveat. Yeah, it was the episode. They went down. There was this one slide that was just like super steep, and you had a mat. And they would go down on it with these like jousts, these like pool noodle things, and they had to like pop as many balloons or whatever. They were in the water. Yeah, that was cool. Totally.
Double Dare rocked that hot. Man, when I was a kid, I fucking wanted to be on that show so bad.
That's why it was fucking awesome, man. Because that was when the show was on. I was a kid. I was like, holy shit, they're filming Double Dare right now.
Do you remember who hosted Double Dare?
No, but he was in like, was he in a sitcom or something like that too? What was he? I don't remember.
It's Mark Summers.
Mark Summers. I can like see him.
Yeah.
But did he do anything besides Double Dare?
No, he was the Double Dare guy.
It's kind of weird, man. What kind of career is that?
I think he's done some. Don't get me wrong, he's done some other shit. But
No,
I don't
I'm
think
gonna
anything.
get you wrong. I'm gonna get you wrong all day, bro.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm gonna get you wrong. Where did that sentence come from?
Don't make me look it up.
Where "get me wrong" came from?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking
Came from the Inspired Disorder podcast. They said it 300 times. I just watched this thing on Netflix, YG. I guess there's a rapper named YG, and he did like this YG, like the letter Y and the letter G, like Young Gangster or something. That actually might be what it stands for. I don't know. I guess he's a rapper, but it's like this video. It's like a 30-minute movie, but it's just, it's well made. And it's about him and like three of his gangster buddies, and they're like breaking into a house and like just, kind of crazy shit that they were doing in LA. But it's like every word, I want to go back through. It's only like 30 minutes, but I want to count how many times they say the N-word, because it's like the most used, like it's just constantly said. It's like ridiculously. It's almost like Tourette's that it's said so much. Like they accidentally say it. I don't know. It was well made though. It was a good little video. But did you find out Mark Summers' career?
Yeah, just Double Dare. I mean, he's got a
now
couple
living
of things,
in Findlay,
but nothing,
Ohio.
Nothing that you would know. Just
Cutting hair.
Double Dare.
Yeah.
Family Double Dare was the second biggest thing.
I may have watched that. Dude, I love Double Dare, man. Double Dare. Do you remember?
Did Double Dare? They didn't start the slime.
No, that was.
You can't do that on television.
Yeah.
Started the
that
slime.
was the slime. Yeah, for sure.
And it was when they said.
Then it became like a Nickelodeon thing to do the slime. Yeah.
But when did they get slimed?
I don't know. Wasn't that the word? I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they get slimed. Yeah. I don't have any special effects. I don't have any slime on me, bro. It's totally forgot.
I like how you just go. I don't know.
Yeah. It's just slime for the video.
This is slime
For the video.
I didn't know sign language, but everyone.
Yeah. For the video watchers, they saw the international sign language term for slime, and then slime.
For slime.
Then slime. It's very, just down to your shoulders and out. Yeah. It's yeah, I don't know, man. Nickelodeon. It's crazy that that's like
I always
still
liked when
around.
they had to dig up in the giant nose.
I don't even remember.
shit.
Yeah, I remember that. Like, I don't remember a lot of that shit.
A lot of shit was just shit hidden in like foam or slime or fucking something, and they had to jump in and fucking.
Was it a game show? Kind of a
Double
thing?
Dare?
No. I was thinking of you can't do that on TV. Wasn't that like a
you can't do
show?
that on television. Was like a kid sketch show.
Okay, that's what I thought. That's crazy, man. I wonder.
Alanis Morissette was on that shit.
Really? That's probably why I fucking. That was like the first female album I think I bought.
I'm almost sure it was shot in Canada.
Huh. Well, that's cool. But
Eh?
Yeah. I mean, that's a wholesome TV show, so I could see the Canadians coming up with that. I guess Degrassi is a Canadian kids show.
I've never really watched it.
I didn't either. I had a roommate that liked it.
I watched Jay and Silent Bob visit Degrassi.
Was
Kevin
it really
Smith
good?
made some sort of whatever where Jay and Silent Bob visit Degrassi,
Yeah.
and I watched it.
Yeah. I remember seeing that. It was because my roommate, my friend that I'm gonna move in with for a little bit after I leave here, she was fucking into Degrassi. I was like, dude,
Drake
I
the
can't
singer
watch that.
was on that shit.
Okay. I don't know, man. I don't know who Drake is. Like I've heard his name, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't recognize his song.
Oh, I wouldn't recognize his songs, but I know who he is.
No. I haven't seen his work, so he doesn't exist to me. Fuck you, Drake. Get on my level, all right?
Fuck yo, Drake.
Come on down to my level, motherfucker. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's kid shows. They have kid shows. I accidentally watched like a whole season, bro. I accidentally turned on an episode of some new Netflix show that happened to be a kid show. I was like, this is not for me. And I started watching the another Netflix show, Kimmy something, and it's like a family comedy thing, but it was one of the chicks that was on The Office for a little bit, I guess. I don't know. She's cute, but it's like it's all it's like she's
Is the girl from Parks and Rec?
maybe, I don't know. I should probably look up see what
Brown
movie it is.
hair.
No, red hair. She has red hair. Anyway, like the premise is she was a part of this cult when she was like a kid. She became part of this cult, and she lived in a bunker underground for 15 years. And they finally found out where the bunker was and finally released her from being captive from the Reverend. And so now she's, 20, I don't know how old she is, like in her 20s or 30s or whatever. I think she just turns 30 in the show. And she decides to live in New York, and she gets a job working for a rich family, and she gets a roommate who's a gay dude who's trying to become a singer, and it's like, so it's a lot of women and a lot of I don't know. It's like, it's not for me. That's another show that's not for me. Like the only straight dudes.
I thought you were really gonna get into how you loved it.
It is a funny show. Like there are funny moments because it's funny to see it from like, it's kind of like that movie fucking who was the dude that was in the Mummy movies that didn't have a very good career? Brendan Fraser. He was in a movie where it was kind of similar, where he came out of a bunker and he was kind of stupid. It was like
I remember that movie. I don't remember the name of it, but
kind of like that premise, but it's like set nowadays. So there's a lot of pop culture things. The intro to the show is kind of a take on the whole, the dude that kidnapped the girls in Ohio, and then the guy that was getting McDonald's, and they did that music video, like the shit that your mom's house would play.
Giveaway.
Yeah, they did. The intro to the show is kind of like a take on that. And, there's a lot of pop. So, like, the references are funny, and it's just funny to see it. But it's definitely, the only straight dudes in the show are assholes. Like, there's barely ever in the show, first off. But the only straight dudes are, like, fucking assholes, which is crazy. But it's kind of a fun
racist.
Show. It's not a great, I don't think it's racist, but it's definitely sexist in a way. It's definitely a reverse. Not reverse sexism. It's sexism against straight dudes. Not really sexism, but they just don't care to portray, which is fine. I'm sure there's enough straight dudes in media, but it's kind of funny. She's just really cute, so I think I'm just like masturbating just watching. It's like, oh, she's stupid. I'd love her. I'll teach you the world. I'll teach you the world.
Christ.
No, I wouldn't be that to her. She already dealt with that.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. But
fuck them crazy cults.
I don't know, man. And then there were some fights. Ronda Rousey Another quick armbar.
Let's do a break, and when we come back, we'll
Do a
talk about
break.
the fight.
All right, we'll talk about that. We can talk about the DraftKings thing too. I need to see if it's possible to get a sponsorship from them.
Got anything?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Well, unless you specifically have something, but I got something already.
Have we ever played C6 Steve?
I don't fucking know, man. It kind of sounds familiar, but like I don't know. You want me to look? What is it?
C6 Steve can't teach an old dog new trick.
I think we have. Here, I'm just gonna play this shit.
Play whatever, man.
All right.
I'm going to smoke.
All right.
That work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Some of those that work forces are the same that burn crosses. Killing in the name of. Killing in the name of. What they told you, and now you do what they told you, and now you do what they told you, and now you do what they told you. Those who died are justified, but wearing a badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those who died, but wearing a badge and you're chosen white. Those who died are justified, but wearing a badge and you're chosen white. You're justified. Those who died, but wearing a badge and you're chosen white. What they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you, you're under control. And now you do what they told you. I won't do what you tell me. I won't do what you tell me. I won't do what you tell me. I won't do what you tell me.
No. Uh-oh. Okay. There we go. Keith is still on his little break. So real quick, everybody, go to robgtv.com. Use coupon code RAY, and you'll save 20% off whatever you, or not whatever you order. Wrong ad. You could, they're at robgtv. People, listen to me. Go to robgtv.com. Go buy the Union t-shirt and the Culture High t-shirt together. Once again, long time friends, those shirts. Boy, they love each other. And the documentaries are amazing as well. The Union and the Culture High, both, I believe, on Netflix at the moment. So go check those out. Use coupon code RAY to save 20% when you order the shirts. And that will help out the show and help, support and promote those two amazing documentaries by our good buddy Adam Scorgi. So go to robgtv.com, use coupon code RAY, and save 20 motherfucking percent, bitches. Keith is, I can hear him coming back right now. Going through the corridor. I think I struck a chord bringing up the whole bunker thing because he's in a bunker right now in the show. The chick's from a bunker, and it's just, I could see his eyes welling up and tears. And, for the video watchers, if you were, it's rough. It's rough to see your buddy get emotional like that. But I think he's okay. Went and got a cigarette. Maybe peed or something. I don't know. Farting. Yeah. Back. Good break for you there?
Yes.
Cool. Good stuff. All right, so the fights which you did not watch.
Me?
Yeah. Did you? Let's see. Where the fuck am I going?
I saw Koscheck get knocked or choked out.
Yeah, that
And
was.
because he had all that jizz coming out of his mouth.
That looked fake. That looked like it was a scene from a shitty. Like you would have seen that in the what was the fucking goddamn MMA kids movie. Bring the Pain? No.
I don't know what
Fucking-
you're talking about. Looks like some weird Steven Seagal 80s movie where
Yeah.
some dude fucking...
No, but it looked comical. That one Boss Rutan was in. Shit. Kevin James. Kevin James
fucking
movie.
know.
Kevin James.
Oh, Bring the Pain.
Yeah. There you go. It looked like that was a scene from there. Like it didn't look. It looked like looked faked comedy, shitty special effects.
You know, he took another fight immediately. He's going to fight Eric Silva now.
Who?
Koscheck in Brazil. He's going to go down and fight Eric Silva in Brazil.
That's awesome. I love that. I want to see him get beat again by a beast, too.
Yeah, he's
Hung
pretty
in there
ballsy with
with-
that. I mean,
Hung in there
but
with Matt
you know,
Brown.
obviously if he loses this one, he's out.
Hopefully. I mean, whatever.
He'll retire
Yeah.
most likely, but I can't say that.
He
I
hasn't
know.
ever since he fought GSP. Like he has been a changed fighter.
Ellenberger tagged him right in that bad eye, and
Every-
that changed the whole fight.
Every
he started
fight-
wiping his eye and shit.
Yeah.
and-
Every fight he does that, man. He'll get hit in the head and he starts checking. Like he starts swiping it. Ever since that GSP, man, GSP fucking shut him down. Just a fucking jab too. But yeah, so Ronda Rousey, everybody's seen it. Like this is, anybody
Yeah, we're a
that's
little
into
late on this.
UFC,
We skipped a week,
yeah.
but yeah, this we all saw Kat Zingano run out and try to flying knee Ronda Rousey.
Try something. I don't know what that was the worst game plan ever, but she didn't have much time
Here's
to do
like
anything else.
when she did it,
Yeah.
and it went into a scramble, kind of.
Yeah.
Like she had her on the ground for a millisecond.
Yeah.
And it's like somehow Ronda pushed her whole body vertically.
Yeah.
Like so she was
Cartwheeled
like
over,
doing a
kinda.
headstand.
Yeah.
And then rolled her back over and then gave the weirdest armbar that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like just over the shoulder crank. It's like
But she's done armbar. I mean, if anybody's gonna hit an armbar in the first round,
tear your arm off from any angle.
yeah. That was yeah, that was crazy, man. It was just ridiculous. It's like, why are you doing that? I mean, I understand the mentality of like trying. Like, I'm gonna catch her off guard. I'm gonna try something, but so shit happens. That was stupid. It's just people run away from responsibility sometimes when it's placed in front of them, and they just try some crazy shit, and they just run away from the responsibility of getting in the ring and doing something about it. But that happens, and just every time you just need to like settle down and just get a nice cold beer, and it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna
You
be good.
just keep talking.
I did keep talking.
I gave you the symbol.
I know, and then I'm like, I was expecting somebody to talk back, and then it's like, no, I just got to keep talking. So I kept it going, man. There was no dead air. It was high quality content, and I segued it right back in, with the nice
Like a
tasty
dick,
beer.
I forgot to grab more beer on my way up. So,
But yeah, the Ronda Rousey thing. But that was I tried out the DraftKings thing. If you listen to the show,
Yeah.
and, I've been getting into the Fighter and the Kid a lot, and that's one of their sponsors. Joe Rogan, it's one of his sponsors, which is really weird.
well, they're actually a sponsor of the UFC now.
Are they really? Oh yeah, I think I saw that too.
They're the only official gambling sponsor of the UFC.
Yeah. Well, that's cool because then I've used the only official gambling sponsor for the UFC because I've heard about it so much on the other shows. So I was like, fuck it, let's see if I can figure out a new way to waste money and fuck around with it. So I got it, and it's kind of weird how I wanted to see how they set it up too.
It's no pick bet.
No. It's no pick bet. But the way they have it set up is pretty cool. They basically, I don't know how any other fantasy game works. you know. But you get for this thing, you get $50,000 is your like imaginary budget for getting.
Yeah,
your
you have to
team.
draft. You're
Yeah.
drafting, and certain fighters are worth more.
So yeah, based on their rankings, you know, certain fighters are worth more and worth less. So you know, you can't just you can't just have all the favorites. And the way the scoring goes down, like you want to pick people that are gonna finish in the first, like finish fights, and then they get little bits of points here and there. Like so, it's like a crazy back and forth fight. You're gonna rack up a bunch of like smaller points, but and you know, I just trying to see how it worked, and I won both of the things. I was first place in one of them. I bet $25. I ended up winning $24, but then there was like $1 bonus or something. I don't know. So I ended up doubling my money. But like the first one, like for whatever reason, I had two different teams that I had done, and on one of the teams I did a $5 bet, and on that one I was like first place for some reason, and it wasn't as good as the other team. The other team, the way it was set up was like there was like 2,200 people in this pool, and only the top 1,000 get paid out. So the whole time I was in the bottom 1,000, so I wasn't winning until the main event, and I had Ronda Rousey to win. So I'm like, the only way, and I was like less than 100 from getting over the threshold, and that one I did $20 on accident. I accidentally did two $10 bets on that one, but whatever. So it was down to the last fight. It's like the only way it's going to win, I'm going to get up there, is if a bunch of people went with Kat Zingano. And sure enough, after the win,
they probably had to because they didn't have it up.
Yeah. So I ended up winning that one too, and so for the next one, which the next one's interesting because our buddy.
What's the card look like? What's the next card look like?
Yeah, our buddy Matt Brown is fighting.
Yeah, that's. I'm nervous for him.
Yeah, which in that fight he is because he's not favored to win that fight.
He's got to be the underdog in that.
He was one of I'll tell you my picks for this one.
Give me the card and then give me
yeah, for sure. Let's see where we're at. So it's Pettis versus Dos Anjos. I don't know the pronunciation on that. So it is showtime, people. So it's Anthony. Okay.
Everyone, Ray's mic just exploded. Like it punched him in the face. It shot off of the desk.
My cat-like reflexes were able to. So,
wait,
right.
It's because you're wearing a Naughty Show shirt.
Yeah,
just
that's
fucking
it.
Sam Tripoli that mic.
There we go. All right. I'm just gonna have a really sore shoulder.
Just reattach it.
No, okay, we'll do this real quick. Here we go. I'm good right here. So it's because I don't know. Yeah,
that's the best shit I've ever seen. Besides you shitting your pants on the podcast.
Yeah, that wasn't on video though.
Exploding.
We get to see it in instant replay, people. Later.
I want to slow somebody, please.
Yeah.
If I'll know if we have at least one listener, if someone fucking captures that and makes it like a vine out of it.
Yeah, if our only one listener is also savvy with video capturing and uploading. Yeah, it's like, I hope our one listener is technically inclined. All right, so it's Pettis versus Dos Anjos. Carla Esparza, who won the Ultimate Fighter show. It's the strawweight. And she's fighting Joanna
Man?
It's like it's like Joanna, and then the person fell asleep on the keyboard is the last part of the name. I don't know how to pronounce it. And then Johnny Hendricks versus Matt Brown, Roy Nelson versus Alistair Overeem, Chris Carriasso versus Henry Cajudo. I don't know. Ross Pearson versus Sam Stout is the last fight of the prelim card, so that's going to be crazy. Elias, let's see. Oh, what's another? Darren Cruikshank versus Danelle Duriush. Jared Rosholt, Josh Copeland. And then the little brother Pettis is the headliner for the Fight Pass prelims.
That sounds like a great card. I actually recognize at least one name in every fight.
Yeah. It seems like it's going to be a solid card. So, fuck. I wonder if I can. Let me
put the mic back.
Yeah, let me fix the mic.
Talk.
Okay. So, what do you think about what do you think about the? Let's start with the Pettis Dos Anjos.
Pettis Dos Anjos, like that one to me is really interesting because Dos Anjos has been on a crazy tear lately, just fucking people up left and right. And but Pettis has been, out of nowhere, just like snap winning his fights too. Like he'll be down or he might be getting punched in the face, and then all of a sudden he rips your arm off in like a half second, which is hilarious to me because he's only a brown belt. Like he just got his brown belt in jiu-jitsu. And he's, tapping out whoever at 155 when he's a small 55. But again, Dos Anjos has been fucking people up. So I don't really... If I had to pick, like DraftKings style, like I'm not sure who's favorited in that fight. But if Dos Anjos is the underdog, I would totally put money on him. And if Pettis...
I'm so scared.
I don't know. I think Pettis could take him, but
yeah.
I had to put DraftKings money on it, I'd probably take the underdog, whoever it was in that fight.
I think Dos Anjos was... Here, let me pull up DraftKings so I can see what my thing was. But yeah, it's kind of crazy because you have to kind of be strategic with it. Kind of like pick bet, you had to be strategic because you don't get to pick everything. And then you're playing like this one. I'm doing a league, so
and I feel like we really fucking missed the. Imagine if pick bet would have been the DraftKings and fucking UFC.
Yeah, but like
we smacked them.
We
weren't like, betting anything besides pride. But
exactly. Yeah. Well, I think it can be done still. If anything would, that's why I wanted to try it out to see how they did it, because it's like I don't know how you would do a fantasy fucking thing. Let's see where we're at here. No, upcoming. So my picks. So I'm doing two different ones. One is like they're both leagues, so it's only the top 5 people. Like it's 5 out of 50, and then another one's 5 out of 40. But you get a bigger payout, so we'll see. And I only bet another $25, so I just bet whatever the fuck I want. Let's see details. No. There we go. So I picked Matt Brown, which underdog, so easy. Would have picked him anyway, but it's nice that I was able to save some money.
I was saving a little DraftKings money, and I picked my friend of show, or who knows, maybe not friend of show, but he was on our show.
Yeah, but
he threatened to beat me up, folks, is what we're saying, and I still pick him every time. I love him.
Yeah, exactly. Just because we're fucking scared. But yeah, so Matt Brown, Darren Cruikshank, which he's favorited for that fight. Carla Esparza, even though I think she's favorited, but from what I've heard, it's going to be a tough fight. I got Roy Nelson because he's an underdog, so he's my other underdog. So I have 2 underdogs and 3 overdogs. Roy Nelson and then Anthony Pettis to win it. So that's it's going to be very, and I have that same team on both for both things. So
you doubled down. You didn't even try to fucking cover your spread with making 2 different bets.
Yeah, I mean, because I saw like the last one, the thing I was first place in, which it didn't matter. It was like 50% of the people won it. Like that scored less points. Like it was just in that competition. Like I just happened to like people just guessed shitty things. Like I'm sure there's a lot of people on here that don't really know what the fuck. They haven't watched a bunch of fights. They haven't seen all of Matt Brown's fights, all of fucking Roy Nelson's fights, and like all of these things. There's probably stupid people out there, and that helped me And then that was like a card. That one was like just one I threw together, and then the one that I barely won on were like my first. So it's really good I went with my gut on this one again. Probably be stressed the fuck out. So we'll see. I don't know. It's going to make it very stressful. I mean, just watching Matt Brown fight, I'm going to be stressed out, you know? But what do you think? What do you think about the Roy Nelson Overeem? Because you can only get, like, pretty much the way it worked out, you pretty much can only get to, like, 3 max of the favorited dude. So it makes it tricky.
My thoughts on that fight is Overeem's got a suspect chin now.
And the whole testosterone thing, I'm thinking, is like maybe he will come in depleted.
Roy Nelson's coming off
a crazy his first knockout.
Getting his lights shut the fuck off, too.
Yeah.
Which we've seen one knockout can sometimes change someone.
That could be the beginning of the end, yeah.
And so it's kind of whoever lays hands on whoever first.
I know.
Like that, and they're both strikers. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nelson's jiu-jitsu game is really good.
Yeah, yeah. So if he can get it to the ground, I mean, in his gut can probably take more of those knees than.
Yeah, maybe. No one can take that many of those knees. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but he's also not the monster that he was.
If he comes in durable, if he doesn't, I mean, he got hit by Mark Hunt, which hits pretty hard. So
yeah, that guy's he can hit people pretty hard.
Yeah, he can hit pretty hard. But it's like, so maybe it's not he's lost his chin. You know, maybe he's still durable. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a durable Nelson, and you know, I think he's a smart guy, seasoned, and I don't like Overeem. You know,
but maybe he's a guy like Mark Hunt who can get knocked out and still just have that, you know, iron chin that never goes away. Hunt's been knocked out a few times.
Yeah, I gotta fix this.
Quite a few times.
Mic just popped again. Fucking piece of shit. All right, hold on.
Holy shit. Oh, man. Wanted to pack all this shit up, but you fucking keep fucking everything up, Ray.
I know. I don't know.
Way to go.
I don't know how to do this shit, man. All those people were right.
I don't know. I'd almost take Overeem in that one.
Yeah, the thing is, I needed 2 underdogs. So Matt Brown was one, and then it's like, that could go either way.
That could totally go either way.
So it's like, if I'm going to get an underdog, and I like Roy Nelson, you know, so it's kind of a completely has nothing. I mean, that's usually why I root for him. He's not like the most physically greatest specimen.
Because he's fat. You root for him because he's fat.
I have dreams too, bro. One of them is that this fucking microphone would not be doing this right now. If I had like
I'm
really
right
cool...
with it.
Yeah, I know you're cool.
It doesn't bother me that much.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that, you know. Hold on, I'm gonna try and see if this piece of wood. I'm gonna try and MacGyver this whole situation here.
I don't think that you're gonna be able to.
I can probably not.
Drops the mic, fucking Chris Rock style. I'm done.
White and whiter. But not in a racist way.
Oh. This is... I love how the technical difficulties aren't on my side.
It's not, it's mechanical. It's not even technical.
Well, it's technically... You're mechanics, so... Yeah. Technically... It's technical difficulties, motherfucker.
Technically, I'm just trying to say that... Can you hold this for me?
Yeah, here, let me grab that.
Thanks.
Does that help?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, totally. Good.
I think sticking my tongue out helps, too.
I think a lot of people think that.
I've never used my pinky more.
Oh. Do you just want to end this?
No, I got it.
I don't think you do at it.
Bam. All right. Put a piece of wood under there so it has something to grab onto. All right.
What, raping it with your hand the whole time?
Oh, man. I'm so in shape, bro. Oh, yeah, so we'll see. DraftKings. But I'm sure there's going to be cards. There's going to be cards where it's like, I don't know. Like this one could be, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I hope I lose so I stop fucking playing with it. Actually, it's like
one day you'll be like, I put 500 down on DraftKings.
It's like, you know how I like sold my house and quit my job and moved to Denver.
Yeah,
shit.
I have a gambling problem, and you better be covering the rent this month.
Yeah.
God damn it!
I pawned my van. I didn't know that was a bad thing to do, but I saw it on a show, so I did it.
They don't give good deals at pawn shops.
Yeah, I mean, I told him I'd be right back for it, like totally. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope Matt Brown destroys Johnny Hendricks, and then, this is gonna be stressful, bro. Where are they fighting?
He's got to get the title shot if he wins, right?
Oh, for sure.
Because Rory's fighting Lawler for the belt.
So I would assume either one of those guys. Well, I don't even know who's in the mix. There might be one other guy, but I would hope. I want fucking Matt Brown to get a shot.
Kelvin's got to move up a weight class.
Yeah, was he in that weight class?
Lombard just got popped for PDs.
Yeah.
Woodley's lost recently.
Huh. Can I pull that up? Is that possible?
I'm trying to think of who's in the mix right now.
Yeah. What weight class is that? That's
170 welterweight.
Welterweight. UFC. Oops. Oh, fucking shit. Yeah. So a few technical difficulties during this fucking.
I love how my computer crashed like 5 minutes before we were gonna start, and then it's all been on your side.
Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna bring up. Fuck it.
It's the Naughty Show shirt is bringing out the Sam Tripoli.
Possibly. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Mike Destruction.
Stop fucking with it.
What
is your problem?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Leave it there. Don't touch it.
All right, so this is not gonna give me. No, it doesn't give me. Fuck it. Yeah.
All right, so the rankings should be Lawler, Hendricks, Rory. I think with Lombard out, Matt Brown, maybe Lombard after him. Since Gastelum has to move up a weight class, it puts him out of it.
See if I'm trying to bring it up here again. All right. A lot of dead air.
I give a fuck.
Yeah. Let's see. Welterweight. So there's Hendricks, Rory, Tyron Woodley, Carlos Condit, Matt Brown, Hector Lombard, Damian Maia, Tarek Safadine, Dong Young Kim, Jake Ellenberger, Kevin Gastelum, Rick Story, Thiago Alves, Gunnar Nelson, Ryan LaFleur. So Matt Brown, I mean, Johnny Hendricks still ranked number 1.
Yeah.
So
he's
Rory's number 2.
Number 1 is number 1 contender.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to have the trilogy with Lawler.
Yeah.
Would it be the third fight? Yeah, it would be.
Was it the third?
Wouldn't it be?
They fight each other twice already?
Yeah.
Yeah, he lost the first one because that was the interim belt, right? Man, what's wrong with us, Keith?
I don't know. We're losing today.
I know.
Technical difficulties,
This is
folks.
like a weird day.
Our brains are experiencing technical difficulties.
We took a week off, and this is what happens. We're like, I don't even know how many times Johnny and Hendricks and Robbie Lawler fought. I think they
I'm
did.
pretty sure it's twice.
Yeah. Although I think it's only once.
It's went to decision both times.
Yeah. And so if Matt Brown beats him, then he just beat the number one contender. So I would assume that would put him in place to fight whoever just fought. You know, they could do, if Hendricks loses and Rory wins, Rory versus Matt Brown could be a possibility.
The UFC wants Matt Brown to win because they want that story of the guy who had a drug problem.
Yeah. OD'd.
Fucking
came back.
Yeah. Comes back.
Totally. I think the UFC would like somebody who's charismatic, which most of this card is not very, you know.
I mean, even Matt, he's got his own podcast or a podcast he's a part of, and
that's true.
Not the most charismatic dude ever.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's this whole. There's not Rory McDonald. No, not charismatic whatsoever. Johnny Hendricks is not. He's a
Johnny Hendricks is not.
Robbie Lawler used to be. I don't. You know, I don't hear anything from Robbie. Like, none of these guys are really. You know, there's nobody that's like.
Is PSP that charismatic?
No, but he has the most fucking quoted thing ever.
I'm impressed by your performance.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, he has that, but I don't think Rory's gonna get something like that. Ironically funny, but I don't know, man. I guess it doesn't matter.
Rory talk more times than you've heard probably anyone else, just because he's on the Joe Rogan Experience intro.
Yeah, I've heard him say those
Joe
words.
Rogan podcast, check it out.
Although when you watch the video, there's not really.
Experience.
Yeah.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
Wow, he sounds like Jesus. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Okay. Who do I sound like?
Oh, praise you. Yeah, I don't know, man. It'll be good. I think, you know, I think Rory could beat Robbie, and if that happens, it'll probably be a boring fight. But, you know, we could easily see a Matt Brown, Rory McDonald, you know? Although, unless it's close.
I like that fight. I like Matt Brown, Rory McDonald.
Me too. I like Matt Brown versus Rory. I like Matt Brown versus Robbie. I just think Rory would probably be a better fight.
And Robbie came out on top, but it was still it was anyone's fight.
Well, you know, Matt Brown's going to give it to Rory, you know? So it's like, unless it's going to be hard to see a Matt Brown fight be boring. Like, he's always pushes forward. He's always, you know, he takes it to guys, you know? So it'll be interesting to see him watch Rory. They haven't fought, right?
No.
Yeah. So we'll see, man. Although that weight class, I'm not as overall. Like, it's gonna get. It seems like it's just gonna be. Here you go. Like, a lot of people, I don't know anybody's gonna be holding that shit for a while. You know, unless Rory does.
Shit changes real quick though, because I thought that about 205 forever, and then John Jones came around, and it's true. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, but I could see, like, if Rory does win it, like, and he turns a corner to where he becomes this dominant guy instead of just, you know, not losing. That could be a reign for a while. He might win. He might keep it just because he's young, you know.
What's the card coming up that's like? Is the Johnson Jones and Weidman Vitor on the same card?
Oh yeah, I think so.
That's fucking insane. Like,
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but that's a fat card. But it's like, those cards make me nervous, bro. You know, like,
someone to get hurt before that.
Yeah.
It's so bad. Like, I was really into seeing Ben Saunders fight again, and he got hurt recently.
Dude, Jones Johnson is May 23rd, so there's a bunch of fights. There's like 10 fights away.
My birthday's the 20th.
Boom.
So that'll be my birthday
MGM
celebration.
Grand.
Hopefully,
be in Vegas.
We'll be in Denver.
Yeah. Totally. We should be. I don't see why not. And there's still a lot of shit needs to finish, but
I made the. All I have to do is take my driver's test now, and I get my license back.
Sweet.
I've conquered all the hurdles,
Yeah.
all the fucking. They do not want you to get your license back. If you lose your license, they make. Quit fucking with the microphone.
It's
God
fine.
damn.
I'm just making sure it's not moving. It's cool.
No, you keep moving it.
This shit needs to be
I'm
durable,
making sure it's
okay?
not
This
moving.
shit needs to be durable. It's durable now. It's good.
You don't need to do that.
I fixed it, man.
I
MacGyvered
haven't
the
moved
fuck out
my
of it.
microphone this entire podcast.
Yeah, but like I am not you, bro. I need to be doing shit. I can't just be like I can't do you. You can't do me, bro.
I can't
Haters
do
gonna
that.
hate. Don't hate me because you ain't me. So anyway, what were you saying?
What new podcast have you been getting into? You said you got into The Fighter and the Kid. Anything else?
Yeah.
New?
Oh, I can go through. I mean, podcasts are like I'm subscribed to so many right now that some it's just like I'll dip into and catch up
I
on.
kind of feel weird because I stopped listening to music for the most part.
Yeah, I'll go back to music every once in a while, and then I'll get behind on podcasts. Okay, so yeah, Fighter and the Kid, and I tried listening to Brian Callen's podcast before. Does he still do his podcast? Or is it just this?
He still does it.
Okay, yeah, I tried to, couldn't do it.
Rough.
And I actually didn't get it wasn't funny to me until
It wasn't supposed to be funny.
No,
Or
but
are you
now
talking
that
about Fighter and the Kid?
now that I realize that he's just a bullshitter, like a huge bullshitter, you know, and he's getting called out on it all the time.
My Taekwondo national championship.
Yeah. So I love that. Now that I get that, because before he just seemed like, you know, an arrogant kind of
He did
not very
used to
funny.
date Fiona Apple though.
Yeah, I've heard that. I mean, he's in LA. He's an actor. You know, I get it. I love that show though. Reminds me of this show. Ramble On, slash Filmcast movie podcast. Started listening to that again, which is the podcast that got me into podcasting, literally. Skeptic Tank, Mom's House, Burtcast, Dollop, Gloom Lake, which is our buddy Stan the Devil podcast. It's like a fictional horror podcast. That's Deep Bro, Point versus Point, Reply All, Startup, Stuff You Should Know. The Tim Ferriss show is really good. He had Arnold Schwarzenegger on, and he's had a few people that Rogan's had on before. And then all the different IDC podcasts, Reset podcasts, and then all the Death Squad or not actually the Death Squad, but like Duncan Trussell and all that kind of shit. But nothing really new except for Fighter and the Kid.
You don't listen to The Church?
I watched The Church. I watched a couple episodes last night. Watched the one with Big John McCarthy, and then forget the other one I watched. Or maybe I just it's good. I like that one.
Yeah, I like The Church, but Steve Simone.
Uh-huh.
Do you know of Steve Simone?
Yeah, he's been on a bunch of. He just had. He seems like he reminds me of a buddy of mine. Just super happy.
Buddy is the perfect word.
Yeah, he's like super happy. Loves the good old days. You know, like remember the time. Like they love that whole childhood. Like kind of.
So he has a podcast called Good Times with Steve Simone.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Is it?
Like even. Steve Simone is such a great guy. Like, it's not bullshit from his podcast. And again, I've never met the guy, but I'll say that I just tweeted one time, hey, just got into Good Times with Steve Simone. And this is great. Next thing I know, he's following me, DMing me, and having like a whole conversation. Like, I kind of like cut it off at a certain point. I was like,
you're like, Jesus Christ, bro. Get off my balls.
No, it wasn't even like that. I was like,
Yeah.
I felt like I was bothered. Like, I always feel like I'm bothering people.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't ever like.
I don't know what that is.
I don't even like tag people anymore. I was like, fuck it, I'll just say their name.
Yeah, it was just like me being like, all right, man, well, I really appreciate what you do. And like, I think my compliment, I was like, it's awesome to see someone as positive as you in a sea of senility.
Yeah. Like
that's what LA comic scene is just
Oh yeah, yeah. He's like,
cynical fucking dudes everywhere who are just hateful of everything, and he's just
yeah,
like,
happy.
yeah, he's
He's
just
just so happy.
happy.
He
And
enjoys happiness.
like recently on his podcast, him and Lee, because Lee Syatt
Okay.
from the church does his. He's also like his producer.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
He doesn't. He's not there when they record,
He just
but
does
he
all the
does
post
intro and outro, and he does
edits and
like
uploads it up.
yeah,
Sure.
he
Yeah,
edits
yeah,
everything
yeah,
and uploads it.
yeah.
So like recently, they've been opening vintage baseball card packs
Okay.
like in the intro and outro.
Uh
I
huh.
just fucking love the
Yeah.
nostalgia of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
That's what that nostalgia. That's him. The joy of
just
nostalgia is like,
yeah, they're just reading the names of the
yeah,
people and what teams, and they're like, "Oh man, you got that one." It's like, and they're all trying to get the Jose Canseco rated rookie card. I'm pretty sure is what their
they're
goal is.
searching for. Where do they just order them off of eBay or
Yeah,
something like that?
eBay or
That's cool.
whatever.
Yeah. I just.
I really enjoyed that. And actually, he just hit me up again. Like, we had that brief conversation or whatever, back and forth for a while.
Uh huh.
And he, like, just out of the blue, I'm like, I got a notice on my phone. I'm like, oh, it's Steve Simone DM me. He's like, hey, what's your address, buddy? I want to send you some stickers.
That's awesome.
I'm like, so
Yeah.
gave him my address and everything.
He
Like,
shows up. He's like, hey, here's stickers.
he's like, hey, buddy, how's it going? I got baseball cards.
Yeah, I
and
picked
I'm like,
these up. You want to open them and check them out? This is gonna be awesome.
dude,
Panama.
you don't even know.
Yeah.
I would go, Steve, get in here.
Yeah.
And then I would pull out my entire baseball card collection that I still have. And then I would also pull out, like, my stepdad kept the cards that he collected back in the day here too.
Okay.
Or at least at my house.
Yeah.
And pull all those down. I'd be like, look at all these. Look at them, like, one after another. Like,
Yeah.
football, hockey, baseball, like, all that shit.
Yeah. I still have, although I'm probably gonna get rid of all of that shit, is like all the basketball cards and shit. I have like it's like I don't know. I have like these things that I just sit in a fucking thing up in a closet. It's like, what am I holding on to this shit for? It's like I gotta get rid of everything.
Even the best one,
Yeah.
it's about a quarter of what you thought it might
If
have
it's
been
like
worth at one point.
perfect condition. Yeah. Yeah. It's and I'm not into basketball anymore, you know. It's like it's a time of my
I thought at one
life.
point that I'm like, I've got all these cards, maybe I can sell them
Uh-huh.
because times have been tough
Yeah.
here and I looked up the prices of these cards that I had bought hard sleeves for
Yeah.
because they were so valuable.
Yeah.
And literally the sleeves are worth more than these fucking cards that they're protecting.
So you almost made a good investment. You should have protected more of your cards in those sleeves, and then you'd have the market on those sleeves.
Could you imagine, like,
Get a free Jose Canseco card with this sleeve.
fucking spent so much money collecting baseball cards and football and hockey and
Dude, there was a time I remember seeing UFC cards like back in the
I
day.
don't remember those.
Yeah, Tops, I think. But it was like, fuck, when was that? It was probably like, it was before I was into it, I think.
Like Ken Shamrock.
It had to have been. But when I did get into it, I was like, dude, I want to go collect UFC cards, but then I couldn't find them. So it's like, whew, good thing I didn't find those, because then that'd just be another ridiculous. Right now, the only collection of shit I'm keeping is my DVD collection, just because it's like that I spent the most money at that, so it's like I can't just get rid of those right now. And there's a lot of good movies in there.
What got me into card collecting was, or not got me into, but what I probably spent the most money on was Marvel cards.
Okay.
The very first edition, like someone put out some Marvel comic cards, and I really didn't read comic books. Like, I loved art as a kid, and I loved comic book art.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it a bunch, and like that's the same thing I got into. It was like fucking, I loved the art in comic books.
Yeah.
Like more than the story. I didn't give a fuck about the story because I didn't have an outlet where I could buy the comics on a regular basis
Yeah.
to get the story. So I just get like random, comics, and the story didn't make much sense by itself, especially if it wasn't the very first one.
Yeah.
So, but I would just like look at the art pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, so they had cards though.
Yes, and that's what got me into like the Marvel movies and shit like that, is because like from those cards, like in the same way that I knew more baseball players and football players and hockey players than you can imagine back then, because I would read their cards. I would read their stats.
Yeah.
I would read,
It got you
and
into it.
I would recall them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And
for
in
sure.
the same way, they made these cards, like they would tell you how they got their powers, what level they were, what, this
Yeah.
or that they were. Like there'd be a brief synopsis. And like that's why I'm into that shit, is because I remember all those the same way I remember the stats back then. Even though I don't still remember those stats, I still remember the comic book shit.
Yeah, you remember the important shit. Yeah.
The important, the make-believe shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the real shit.
I mean, listen, sports is entertaining, but it's not important. Not as important as knowing what the fuck Wolverine does and what his powers are. We should do, I wonder, probably would never sell, but there's probably a small market for it. We should do podcast cards, trading cards. Where we do podcasters and podcast producers and all the, these different,
Years podcasting, highest ranking on iTunes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, you'd have to do the stats would have to be entertaining.
Stats
yeah,
would be like
coming up with the stats would be fun. I don't know, like
highlight guest.
That seems like it'd just be a waste of money, but I'm sure there's got to be crazy podcast geeks, right? Like myself, so I can say it. But like, would I buy? Like, who would sell? I don't know. How would you? You just have to like create a business, make podcasting cards, and then we do a sponsorship program with all the different podcasters.
How much do you have to pay each person to allow you to put?
Yeah, that's a lot of work
there.
I mean, we'd have to do easily. We could do independent podcasters. We already got a lock on a lot of those guys. We know a lot of them. It's going to be easy. And then, some of the bigger ones we won't get. And then the idea will fail and just be a stack of cards sitting in a room going like, remember that idea that nothing happened.
You know what you mean? Like my entire card collection.
Yeah.
It's worth zero that I've been
of.
holding on to since '88.
But at least like you are the product of that idea working. Like, as opposed to just being the guy who runs Topps sitting in a warehouse full of cards that nobody bought. Like, people actually bought cards in your time.
He's like, yeah, but fuck Donruss.
Yeah.
And Fleer.
Yeah. Or we could do it like stickers. They could be like cards, but stickers. You post them up, and it'll have like your stats and a little QR code, and you can scan it and just listen to an episode.
That shit blew up for a while, though. I mean, like, I can name probably 6 major card companies. Easy.
Yeah. Fleer. Upper Deck?
Fleer. Upper Deck. Donruss.
Topps.
Bowman.
Don't remember that one.
Score.
I think I remember that one.
That's 6.
Yeah. That's
I
a
hit
lot.
my mark.
That's a lot.
Hit my mark.
Yeah. Damn. They're still around, I'm sure. I just never go to those sections of the stores anymore. I'm sure most of them is
I've seen a few of them at Walmart in the checkout aisle, and like packs of cards are like fucking $5 now. So
that was like one of the first things.
Shit.
Now that I think, that was like one of the first things I stole were cards because I didn't have money.
I used to steal
so I just
Magic the Gathering
stick
cards.
them in my sock because they were always on like the bottom shelf, so you'd just be kneeling down there anyway as a fucking sneaky little kid. Just shoving him in your sock.
I used to steal Magic the Gathering cards. That's how nerdy I was.
There we go. That's actually, there's a documentary I just saw, Harmontown. Remember, you ever see the show Community?
Yeah.
Dan Harmon, the maker of that, like, it was, the documentary takes place after, I think it was after he was fired from the show. Yeah. He was doing his podcast Harmontown, which I didn't even know he had a podcast, but the documentary is about him going on tour with this podcast, and it's the first time, because I guess they do each episode's in front of a crowd, like a live crowd at the Nerdist Studios or whatever. So it was the first time he went on tour with the podcast in front of new crowds, so you could see him like nervous and like he gets wasted, and like it's a great, and his like a guy that came to one of his shows who his intention of going to his show was to play D&D with Dan Harmon. He ended up getting called up on stage that day during the podcast, and he ended up getting to play D&D with him. And they made that a regular segment on the show. So there's this just awkward bearded dude that's the dungeon master that comes out as a segment for the show. And he goes over, like, they narrate things that happen, in D&D. I've never played D&D, but they you swing your sword, and then he goes on like a little narrative of what happens. But it's hilarious. But it's a great documentary, Harmontown. On Netflix. Just watched it.
I remember them doing like a D&D spoof on Community at one point. Probably.
I'm sure. And that dude ended up being on Community when he got hired back to do, I guess, probably their last season or whatever. He had that kid on probably just an episode. But yeah, man. It's a good documentary. I love seeing documentaries like or shows like Marin. The IFC shows and things, and like in actual society that are portraying podcasting in kind of a realistic light. Although the way Dan Harmon does it is crazy. Like, it's just, he's standing on stage with a mic. His co-host is an actor that just like he bounces shit off of him. He sits behind a podium, and I think he runs like sound effects. So he's kind of like the Red Band guy, but more of like a jolly actor. And then the dude that does the D&D sits at a table, like kind of almost like where Iron Patriot would be. But it's a good documentary. Yeah, it's cool.
Ooh, I've got a great podcast for you to get into that's got good lately. I probably mentioned the Doug Stanhope podcast before on here.
Yeah, and I totally forgot that he had a podcast.
So, for the last 20 days or so, he's put himself he's trying to quit smoking again.
Okay.
So, he's got like a little compound in Bisbee, Arizona, but he's been doing a podcast a day, usually for a half hour. A couple of them have ran longer.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like, I liked his podcast before, but it was so sporadic and everything because how Doug is and but this one they're putting out like one a day, and it's really good of him like trying to quit smoking and like how shit's going. And
the like, Doug Stanhope podcast?
Yes.
Okay. Sweet.
And I think they're labeled tin can day 1, 2, 3, 4.
Day 21 is an hour long. Actually, the last two are hour long. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try and keep
it's up great. And it's a good one. Like if you just want to fuck around, like if you're doing art all day, you could hit play on number 1 and that shit'll just fucking run all day.
That's what I've been doing with painting the fucking walls. Just putting on a podcast and just fucking just zoning out, while everything's going on. Yeah, I'll check that one out. And then I still watch some shows like The Church, Rogan's podcast, Kill Tony, which now that Red Band's doing 4K, like takes way longer for episodes to come out now. So it's like I think they're barely releasing like this year.
I don't even know if they've made it this year on a Kill Tony yet.
Yeah, but they are doing the live. I think he's still doing the live ones on Ustream.
But hey, how is it that difficult when the Rogan podcast still gets put up the next day and they're on that same shit too?
Rogan's got a staff, and
Jamie,
the way he
it was Red Band before.
Yeah, but the way first off, Red Band's using a 4K camera now, which the video files for that, just rendering something like that would take. So he edits the show.
Yeah, but that's what
Rogan's shit is like ours. It's done live. Like if I wasn't part of this show, I tried switching camera angles and shit like that, but while I'm talking, it's just impossible. So we could do that live, and it's done, and it's uploaded because we're doing all that shit live. Red Band takes the footage and he edits everything together. So he's taking 2 cameras, and then one of the cameras is the 4K, so he's taking close-ups of different shots. So he's doing actual editing, which probably takes him, I would imagine, it would take me easily a week or 2, and I'm sure he's way more proficient, so it probably takes him a day, probably a solid day just to edit it. And then as far as rendering is probably another day. So, I'm sure he just piles up. Video. He would have to, I'm sure it's just piled up and it just gets overwhelming, and it's like, I just hope he doesn't get to a point where he just says fuck it and it's like, I'm not doing this shit anymore, and then we have like 3 months of podcasts that never come out, because he just gave up on trying to put it out. That's why I did the way I have the show structured. For me, I hate editing. I hate sitting back and taking a day editing something. I'd rather just get good at doing it live and just throw it up there. So it's like everything that's done is all I have to do is just upload it, and it's it's the easiest out of the way people structure their podcasts. But I watched Getting Dug with High, and DVDASA is on another break apparently, I guess. But I had caught up with that show when it came back, and now it's on another break. So, but there's some shows. If a show has a video option available, generally I'll watch it. So, that's the next wave of podcasting, man.
I agree.
Now that
I just can't watch them right now. Although I will say this, Fighter and the Kid, if you subscribe to iTunes, they put out a video highlight. Like, I don't. Why doesn't everyone else do that? Like, what is that? Is that
because
just that
not
Fox
everybody has
it?
Fox? Yeah, to host video to be distributed on iTunes costs a lot more money because it's a lot bigger.
That's all that was what I figured.
You used to be able to, because the Billy Dallas show I was able to do on video, but there were companies back in the day that you could do for free. But now it's like, I don't even know where you would. But it's like, for iTunes for video, I think that's kind of a dead. That could come back, but YouTube and Vimeo.
If it was for free like that, like I would download every Rogan episode just like that.
Yeah, well, no, for sure. But that's what YouTube and Vimeo are. That's those companies. You subscribe to them and you just get the new.
Can't download that shit.
Yeah, you can. You can. Well, our show you can on Vimeo. There's a download option. There's a link to download it. They would have to have selected it, but. You can do that.
Gonna clog my computer up.
Yeah. Why would you want to download all that video? That would take up so much space. Just stream it. It's for you right now.
I don't have in my situation. Not everyone.
Yeah, man. But you check that out. You might be able to download some of those because I know I have that option so people could download the shit. But
I'll look into it.
Yeah, video's next though, man, because all these devices, every device you buy, TV, Blu-ray player, all that shit, you can watch our show, Rogan's show, Death Squad shows, So it's just a matter of time before people realize, the vast majority of people realize that content's out there. Because so many people are getting rid of cable, man. People are finally realizing that there's other forms of entertainment. And video hasn't blown up yet for podcasts like audio has. There hasn't been the serial.
HBO just offered their whole shit.
Apple has their exclusive.
$15.
Yep, $15, which.
And that's every movie that they've got on, every show that they've got on.
Yeah, it's basically HBO Go, but you don't have to have the subscription through your cable company. You just pay $15 a month and you get everything, which I'll probably get after everything's done, because I would love to catch up on Game of Thrones.
Just between Netflix and that's $25 a month. That's perfect.
Dude, I'd probably cancel Netflix.
You can't entertain yourself with that.
Dude, and Fight Pass, Netflix.
All right, $35.
Yeah.
Still, all right. $35.
Yeah.
And now I can watch every fight ever
from like almost every organization ever,
and damn near every movie and series ever.
Yeah.
So, suck a dick, cable.
Yeah, I got rid of cable in the dark days, 2007.
I did too.
Where my DVD addiction was the only thing keeping me sane. But things have changed, man, in a very short amount of time. Things have changed more often than my underwear. Which brings us to our sponsor. No, I'm just joking.
MeUndies.
Yeah. Oh, man.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Absolutely. So go follow Keith on Twitter.
Don't follow me.
Don't follow Keith, but stalk him. Just bookmark his Twitter at Keith Spurlock 1 and troll him. And definitely, if you have the story, you're prepared for the story, to the documentary, to contact Adam Scorgie about, which I don't even remember what the premise was. I really do.
We're gonna get Scorgie back on.
I remember
weird people who want to talk about chemtrails.
Chemtrails. That's right. Chemtrails. Yeah, if you want to contact Adam Scorgie, feel free. Do not tell him that we sent you, because I don't want any credit for your amazing idea. Okay, that's all you. But since we're on the topic of Adam Scorgie, he's done a couple other documentaries. Boom, The Union and The Culture.
Oh, look at that, you sneaky fucking shit.
And you can buy both, even though I just did this ad during the break. But go to RobGTV again. Go buy another pair of these shirts and use coupon code RAY for another 20% off. Also, go to InspiredDisorderCollective.com. Check out one of the podcasts on the part of the collective, the Needles Cast by our buddy, The Needles M on Twitter, Stitcher and iTunes. All links are at InspiredDisorderCollective.com. I don't know how often he's doing the show. I think it may have been a while. We may have been possibly his last episode. But he has other episodes.
Check out his backlog.
Absolutely. Go check it out. And the reason why, I'm sure, is because he's busy doing stand-up. So there is that. So go check him out on InspiredDisorderCollective.com. And last but not least, go to InspiredDisorder.com/store. Check out the merchandise there. Paintings, stickers, shirts. Save 10% by using coupon code INSPIRED. Buy a 40-sack. Drink malt liquor out of it. And then have a good night. Don't be violent. Right, Keith? Don't be violent. It's a good message.
Vaccinate your kids.
Vaccinate your kids.
Chemtrails aren't real.
That is exactly why the Diseasy shirt exists, is because we want to prevent all diseases and get rid of all of these horrible things. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad that reset. But that's why the Diseasy shirt exists, because that thing reset. This has just been an episode of What the Fuckery.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, people. Until hopefully next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peace out.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.